What's up, guys? It's great to see you guys already in the house. Like, quite a few of you are already here. It's awesome. Oh, wow. And YouTube, me coming in with a big old 20. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Way to get the show started, right? All right. So let's see who's all here. What's up, Jonas? 5500K. John Connor. Danny Stanton. James Cameron. Ed Lewin. JP. Mad Cow, Garrett, let's see, YouTube me, Leslie, Edwin, Ralph, Wes, um, Belated King, Danny. How are you guys all doing? I think I got everybody so far. So, how are you guys doing tonight? It's great to see you guys. So, how many of you guys have seen this movie before? Like, I love this series. I love both the movies, but I absolutely love the series too. Like, I've rewatched this series. Like, it's only 2 seasons, but I've rewatched every episode countless times. It's one of my favorite things to watch before I go to bed, kind of thing. It's just chill, but it's still got that like fun, spooky vibes. 1,000 times, Danny. What's up, Jesse? What's up, Thomas? JP? DC? What's up, everybody? Yes, it is. I literally just got it at Walmart. It's on sale for like $6. I couldn't resist. Like, that's my favorite thing when Walmart does these like $6 to $8 horror shirts. I'm like, man, I'm all over that. So yeah, if you're looking for a new horror shirt, they have an Exorcist one and two different Halloween ones. One from Halloween, one from Halloween 2. Uh, they have this shirt. They have an It, like the new Pennywise It the Clown shirt. Um, Probably some other ones too. Like, they got quite a few right now. They have a Ghostface one. Yep, Kolchak is the shit. I agree. I didn't even realize there was a comic book. That's cool. Yeah, I wore the Halloween 2 one, I think in not this week's video, but next week's video. I think I'm wearing it. Nice. I need to go to TJ Maxx. Speaking of TJ Maxx, Leslie was just talking to me today about TJ Maxx, and I was like, that's a store I like never really go to. I always think it's like out of my price range, but apparently not. If you got a shirt for $7. Oh, thank you so much, Thomas. Hell yeah. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I love the Exorcist one from Walmart. I almost bought a second one just to have, so because I know the other one's going to shrink up. Um, it's funny too because I'm barely a 2X. I'm actually more of like a 1XL, but they're just a tiny bit too tight. So when I lose a little bit of weight, like if I get back down another 10 more pounds or so, like I want to, then I'll be back down into an extra large, like I'd rather be. And so it drives me crazy because a bunch of my shirts are 2XL, and so now they're going to be all baggy on me. I don't think I have a Sam shirt. Like that's one of the few horror, like one of my favorite horror icon shirts that I don't have. Like I love Trick or Treat with Sam, but yeah, I don't think I have one. I'd love a Sam shirt or just a Trick or Treat period in general shirt. I don't have any horror shoes. I can barely wear regular shoes anymore now anyway, so I don't bother buying a lot of shoes. Here. There's the Friday the 13th shirt. Yeah, they have it at Walmart right now. So like it's like I don't know, $6 or $8, something like that. All right, so I got a couple packages to open real quick. Just 2 this week. So I'll open these up real quick and then we'll get into the movie. Yeah, I really enjoyed A Haunting in Venice too, Joe. I thought about reviewing it, but it's only kind of it's like kind of fringe horror. It's more of a murder mystery. I still would have covered it, but I've been extremely sick the last couple days, like really, really, really sick, and so I just couldn't. So I just couldn't get to the review, but yeah, I wanted to. I actually really did enjoy it. I had a good time with it. Like I said, it's much more of a murder mystery than it is a horror movie, but yeah. All right, so this one is from Leslie, I believe. Yeah, from Leslie. Ooh. And it's like a fabric-y kind of material. Wow. Oh, shit. It's Thanksgiving. The new one that's coming out in November. That's awesome. Thank you, Leslie. And it's like this cool, like fabric-y kind of material. It's almost more like a banner than it is a poster. I'm super excited to see this movie. Like it looks just like a lot of fun. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's they did during the movie Grindhouse. They made a trailer for a fictitious movie. They made in that movie there's like a number of trailers that are basically like pretend movies. They aren't real movies, but I guess it's been in the works for years. I love this. There will be no leftovers. This is so cool. But yeah, so they're finally making it now. What's up, John? Yeah, as the remains. All right, and then I got one other one here. This is a much more heavy thing. It's from Mike Manowski. Mike Manowski. So I have no idea what this is. Are you here, Mike Manowski? I hope so. So I always prefer to open stuff when people are here. Yeah, white meat, dark meat, we all get carved. Yeah, so I don't know who Mike Manowski is. So I don't know who this is from. I mean, I said the name, but I don't know as far as the name, like what your username is. All right, let's pull this bad boy out. Can you guys see it? What is this? Oh, it's like in another box. It's a box inside of another box. All right, let's see what we got here. Did anybody own up to this being from them? All right, here we go. What the fuck is this? All right, let's see. We're going to start off with the letter. Looks like quite a bit of stuff in here, actually. All right, so I got a letter to start off, and it says, Kanan, I just wanted to drop you a line to let you know how much I enjoy listening to you on YouTube. I love horror movies so much, and your lists are so fun. I'm glad I discovered them. There are 3 things in particular that really make your videos my favorite. Ugh, I keep wanting to burp. You are just so enthusiastic. I love the energy you give off. You seem like almost everything, but you seem to like almost everything. Sorry, I'm not great at reading. But hey, watching movies is supposed to be fun, right? Yeah, that's exactly how I see it. Who wants to listen to some guy sit around and crap on everything all the time? We seem to have very similar taste. As soon as I heard you say you liked Halloween 3, I was all in. No spoilers. This is so important. Some people just don't get it. So for years around 30, I've been photographing portraits of horror movie stars, usually at conventions. There's like these cool like blood stains on it, but it's covering these 11 by 14s have been sitting around getting dusty, and I thought you were just the person who would really appreciate them. So please accept these as thank you for all the entertainment you've been giving me lately. Very few people have seen all these, and almost none of them never been published. None of them have ever been published. I'm sending you a list of who's who, but you probably don't need it. So get your popcorn, but don't get butter on the portraits. Enjoy them. Thanks, Mike Manowski. P.S. You absolutely kill it on foreign name pronunciation. Thank you. I try hard with that, man. It's really hard to pronounce a lot of names. It takes me multiple takes. Like, that's the truth. All right. So it looks like it's a box of a bunch of portraits. So let's go through these. So I have a list of names, but let's just look at them and holy crap. Dude, these are amazing. Like the quality, they're so like, look at these. Like just the prints of them alone are phenomenal. So that one is Adrian Barbeau and Tom Atkins from, just from the fall. I thought maybe there'd be a year. Man, these are amazing. All right, and then this is a picture of the cast from Day of the Dead. Can you guys see them? See them all right? Man, these are just so good. Holy crap. Like, look at this picture. It's Angela Bettis from the movie May, which is a fucking amazing movie. But look at this picture. And they're printed out so nice. Oh, I love this one of Daniel Harris. Holy shit. Look at that one. And then I can't tell who this is. Oh, it's Kevin Tenney, the director of Night of the Demons and Witchboard. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't recognize him just by his face. This one's wild. And this is oh, okay, it's Danny Hicks from Evil Dead 2. Dude, this is insane. Like, we could go through these all night. Like, there's literally like, what is there? There's just, I mean, there's so many of them. Like, look at this. Look how many of them there is. Do you guys want me to keep going through them, or do you want? This one's awesome of D. Snyder because it's like, yeah. Love D. Snyder. He's such an icon. And then Art Hindle from The Brood. Man, he's got like such good pictures of all these people. Haruo Nakajima from Godzilla. Oh, Tony Moran from or Moran from playing Michael Myers. Of course, he looks like a dick. Apparently, he is a dick. I've never met him, but oh shit, it's Jackie Naaman Jones from what is that movie? Kranos, Hands of Fate or whatever. Kronos, Hands of Fate, or no, it's not. Is it Kronos? No, Manos, Hands of Fate. Oh, another great one of Daniel Harris. Oh, wow, this one's rad. It's the cast of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I know I need to get these signed. Like now I need to go on a mission to like travel around and get all like these signed or something. Oh wow, look at this one. Let's see. I was looking to see if it had a year, but I guess this is probably like early 2000s, right? Or no, maybe 90s. I mean, that's after he played Freddy the last time. Oh, wow. Like, these are amazing. These are just truly amazing. There's so many more, but I think I'll get the movie started. I mean, there's so many more. Like 20 or more. more of them, and they're just so nicely printed. Like, I am so appreciative. Like, these are incredible. Oh shit. Okay, I gotta show you guys this one real quick. Holy fuck. This is one I'd really like to get signed and framed. Wow. Look at this one, guys. Look at that. Tony Todd, Daniel Harris, and Kane Hodder. Like, I mean, these are all amazing. Wow. I just can't believe this. Like, this is such a nice gift. Holy shit. Oh, dude. Oh, I really want to get this signed. All right. Put these away real quick. Thank you again so much. Like, these are amazing. Like, just wow. These are just incredible. Okay. All right, so let's get this movie started. Yeah, they're just the nicest fucking prints. Like, they're so nice.
Chapter 1. This is the story behind one of the greatest manhunts in history. Maybe you read about it, or rather what they let you read about it, probably is some minor item buried somewhere on a back page.
All right, can you guys hear it okay?
However, what happened in that city between May 16th and May 28th of this year was so incredible that to this day the facts have been suppressed in a massive effort to save certain political careers from disaster and law enforcement officials from embarrassment. This will be the last time I will ever discuss these events with anyone. So when you have finished this bizarre account, judge for yourself its believability, and then try to tell yourself, wherever you may be, it couldn't happen here.
Yeah, I'm really excited with the Reggie Bannister one.
Sunday, May 16th. At approximately 2:30 a.m., Cheryl Hughes was standing at the intersection of Casino Center and Fremont Streets waiting for a girlfriend to give her a lift home. Cheryl Hughes was 23,
all right, good.
5 feet 5 1/2 inches
see it okay?
tall, 118 pounds, blonde hair, light brown eyes, swing shift change girl at the Gold Dust Saloon. Cheryl Hughes, tired and hungry, but just mad enough to walk the 8 blocks to her small frame house off the corner of 9th and Bridger. Cheryl Hughes, en route to her doom.
I don't think I've ever seen Dead Hard. Besides Kolchak, my favorite role he ever played was the dad in Christmas Story. Hopefully, I don't think there should be any problems with YouTube letting me play this, but you never know with YouTube, so if they take it down, I'll try to find a different version or something to play. Candy, I'm putting together a box for you and one to. Yeah, I just have to eat candy very, carefully, sparingly. Just like anything else, there isn't anything you necessarily can't do or eat. You just have to make sure you eat in moderation and are very careful about it. Mostly I eat a lot of like sugar-free candy when I eat candy, but candy is actually a lifesaver at times. Like this weekend I was really sick.
Peel back the chest
and
please.
my blood sugar got actually really low last night, and so having a little bit of candy in the
This should
house
do it.
was a big lifesaver. I was able to just eat a couple pieces of candy and get my blood sugar up until I could go to sleep safely.
Begin the gross work on internal organs. I'm going to phone the district attorney. And don't talk about this to anyone.
John, that's not exactly true. It still needs to be.
I came into it 2 days later.
But even
called
then,
back
like,
97
YouTube
miles from
is
the
a
first
pain in the ass.
vacation I had had
It's
in
not
2.5
about the
years
legality
because
of it.
the
It's
story
about
is
them
so
letting
big
you
no one else can handle it.
stream. Like,
According
it
to our
doesn't even
lovely
matter
friend
about the
managing editor.
monetization part. I don't
Rumor
monetize
has
these
it that
streams
the day
anyway.
Anthony Albert Vincenzo
Not until after
was
they're
born,
up.
his
If
father left town.
they let me
This
after
story
it's
may
up,
be apocryphal,
then
but I
I'll
believe it.
sometimes
The
monetize
only
them,
point
but
I wonder about
I don't
is why his
monetize them.
mother
That's why you
didn't
don't see advertisements and stuff
Good
while
morning,
we're
slaves.
watching the movies. So it's not even about that. It's just about sometimes the algorithm thinks it shouldn't be something you should stream,
We
and
are
let's
not
take it down.
amused. Kolchak, you are on.
Done.
A
They're trying to do us
two-day-old,
before
third-rate murder. You are
Uh,
from Baked
twice,
Water.
actually,
They
I
have
think.
other assignments. You're beautiful when you're angry. Ow.
I know I couldn't stream this series, but the movie should be
First
fine.
stop, County General to see one
There's
of our most
multiple
reliable
channels that
spies.
have it posted
At
on
least he used to
YouTube,
be reliable.
so
Hello, Carl.
I don't see why I
Oh, I
should.
thought you were disbarred from malpractice. I thought we were rid of you for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so did I.
Well, about this Cheryl Hughes thing. Why does it say officially undetermined under cause of death? Why don't you ask the coroner?
Oh, thanks. Come on, you're my spy here. But haven't I kept quiet about all those illegal operations you've been performing in closets?
I didn't know that, Joe.
Come on, tell me
That's some
true.
good
now, Joe.
information
Is there
right
anything
there.
unusual about the autopsy?
No, all I know is she lost a lot of blood.
Some spy.
I'm just a poor, hard-working doctor that occasionally takes pity on an aging reporter. Dr. O'Brien, any
Sounds like
messages
a
there for me?
Pulitzer Prize story to me. Second stop.
Oh, that's really
Saloon
interesting.
And a chat with Gail
Nice.
Foster, one of Cheryl Hughes' fellow
It's
workers,
coming to with some really cool
and a
info.
rather close friend of mine.
Poor Cheryl. I feel just terrible about it, Carl.
Well, honey, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to.
No, I want to help if I
Yeah, if
can.
anybody is curious, we're referring to a show.
No, none that I ever heard
This
of. She
movie
dated
was the
once in a
first
while,
thing,
but
and
never
then it
the
was so
same man twice.
popular, they made
I
the
don't
second
think she
movie,
liked
and then
him.
they made a
Yeah.
series called
Yeah.
Kolchak about
She even
about
took karate lessons in case
um,
one got fresh.
the
You
lead
mean that
detective
she
character, or
karate?
this
Yeah,
reporter character.
brown belt. Oh, I see him. I gotta go. Bye-bye.
In any town the size of Las
Yeah,
Vegas,
I was
the
wondering
murder
that
of one
too,
young
Leslie.
woman hardly causes a ripple.
So I want to look and
But
see
then the ripple
if,
started.
because it's
Thursday,
possible.
May
I don't
20th,
know.
7:02
I didn't
a.m.
I didn't see any Hellraiser people off the top. I don't remember who else. I don't remember exactly who all was going to be there.
Okay. Don, take your statement.
I love his. I love his silliness.
I got a
with the
flat
show.
tire.
Like he's more serious in this and less of a silly character. Less anyway. And it's cool, but I really enjoy the silliness of him in the series. Like he always wears the
Not a
same
footprint
white
inside.
suit,
Is that physically
hat,
possible?
straw hat.
If
like
it
he
happened,
drives
it's
that yellow
possible.
Mustang.
Well, it sure looked like it happened.
Oh, come on.
Bonnie Reynolds, 27, divorced.
Yeah, it
Cocktail
almost
waitress
doesn't look
at
like that's
Carol
real.
Roots.
That is a strange way of blocking. This was made for TV though, so you never know. It could have
must have
been
lost an awful lot of blood.
miniature work to save money.
Cheryl Hughes lost a lot of blood, too.
You read that in the newspapers, did you?
No, I didn't read that in the newspaper.
This girl lost a lot of blood, Sheriff. But she didn't lose it here.
Anything? We found a purse.
I think last year is one of the greatest years in horror
Nothing
movie
in
history.
between.
Like I genuinely think
Only
it
our
was that
footprint.
good of a year. You know, I'm not saying that any of the movies were the best movies on their own ever or nothing,
What they
but
do, throw it?
as like a whole, that year was incredible. There's been
Who said
few
Bonnie
years
Reynolds
with
from
that
20
many
feet into that
amazing
car?
movies.
The coroner? I haven't heard about it. Who said this?
Like
was
there's some
connected
great
to
movies
Cheryl
this year
murder?
too, but
The police? The police
Thank you, CJ.
Who said Shell Hughes died
Thank
of
you so
massive
much.
blood loss?
But I
The
don't.
coroner
I
again?
don't think there's been
We haven't
anything
even
close.
read his report yet. And
Yeah.
who, may I ask, said that a
Or
super
not-
powerful
not-
madman is
Okay,
running
I
loose in
enjoy
Las
the
Vegas.
movies
You
this
hear
year, but I don't
voices,
think it's
Kojak?
anywhere near close to last.
I did not.
There are some movies
I know
individually
you're
that I
blind.
thought have
Big
been
time
really, really
reporter like
good,
you
but
condemned to the
just
sticks
as
of
a
the
whole, I
journalistic
don't think
room.
it's nowhere near as good.
I know you'd like a big fat byline on a big fat story so you can pay your way back to a big fat city job.
I did not.
I expect you to report, not to come up with fairy tales. And Kojak, quit barking the PD. If something turns up, they'll let us know. Meanwhile, use your head and lay off. Whatever they're up
I
to,
don't know
they don't
yet,
want to
Danny,
help
if they're
an
gonna
honest
cut me
bloodhouse
off.
like you.
It should be legal to play it. It says it was royalty free, and there's multiple YouTube channels that haven't posted, and I'm just playing it off of their channel. So,
Friday, May 21st, 8:06.
but I don't know. They might pull it down.
Apartment of Carol Hanachek,
YouTube is a thing
swing
like
shift
that. Like,
cocktail waitress in the
I tried to play
She got home
Buckets
around
of Blood, and Buckets of
2:15
Blood
a.m.,
is completely
poured herself a glass of
royalty
milk,
free,
opened
copyright
the back
free.
door of the
Like,
kitchen for reasons
no
unknown,
reason in
and
hell
died
why I shouldn't
like
have
the
been able to
others.
play it, and they
Suddenly,
pulled it down. So.
quietly, without disturbing her sleeping roommate only a few feet away. Something of a pattern had started to
But
form,
I think it also has to do with,
and it was
you know,
ugly.
talking over it, having
It was
some
there.
graphics over
The
it.
people stopped talking.
Does that surprise you?
I honestly did not
Look,
sure.
You're not the only one that likes to play detective. The police, the sheriff boys, they all think they're pretty good. And they don't need you.
You know, you really make me feel wanted.
I know he makes it look so
We've
cool
had
to be
3 murders in town. Danny. We have one
reporter,
tremendously strong guy, maybe more,
an investigative
who goes around
reporter.
killing young girls, and they all lost a lot of blood.
Hey, you weren't supposed to know about that.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
no,
think
no.
every year you have
I
great
know.
horror. I agree. It's just
What about
some
you
years
without
are
fear?
better than
No,
others.
this is nothing for the
And
Bureau to mess with.
I'm not counting out
Well,
this year
you
yet
could make
either. I'm
some
not saying
official
that, you know,
inquiries
because
for me.
there's always some of the best
Like-
horror
Well,
every year
you
that
could
comes
check
out,
around
you
the
know,
country
between now
check
and the
all
end of the year.
hospitals and
So,
see if any of them have had,
and I'm still
corpses
really
leaking
excited
blood
about a
out,
couple
you
of
know,
the
all
movies
over the
coming.
glossy
Like,
blood.
I really am
You
looking
could
forward to
check all
Saw.
the,
I'm really looking forward to the one this week,
See if they
Rivers
release
Inside.
decently and not
I think
who
that
thinks
one's
he's
gonna be
contracted, even
fantastic.
if he's done nothing to prove it.
But there's a few
believe in
too, like
vampires as a
a
boy?
few other ones that look really good.
That's very funny. It's very funny, pretty. Haha. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit like a cheap gonop guzzling my beer?
I'll think about it, okay? Meanwhile, I hope it doesn't disillusion you to know that the local law enforcement people go along with your views.
Oh?
Somewhat.
If you need, maybe I've been surprised. Like, I don't know. It makes no sense because, like,
Oh, hi, Marilyn. How are you?
yeah, YouTube doesn't really make a lot of
Hey,
sense.
I like your
sometimes.
luncheon
Like,
place.
no,
Yeah.
limit
Say, if you want to
to
hear
like
the expense
limited
report, meet me at the
or
sheriff's
not let me
office.
monetize a lot of these streams when
Don't thank me,
we're
you can
literally
be there.
just talking.
Where you go?
Like, I didn't show any movies or nothing. I'm just talking, and yet when I try to monetize them, they don't let me. And then other times, when I show the whole entire movie, they let me monetize those just fine. So YouTube is very strange because so much of it is just ran by algorithms, and it's, you know, it's a computer.
Jack. Hi, Carl. I just thought you'd like to know I heard the Parkway Hospital was knocked over.
Yeah, knocked over for what? Cash, drugs, equipment, what? Blood.
That's right. Every container in the place, their entire stock.
What about blood type?
Seems blood type and RH factor didn't much matter.
John.
Can't stop now. See you.
Yeah, but
Yeah. Well, if in the beginning of the series, he says he was basically kicked out. No, it takes place in Chicago. The series is in Chicago, and supposedly he basically got
6:30
booted
PM,
out
Clark County Courthouse.
of Vegas
Present, in addition to myself, and 2
because of
incompetents who called
this,
themselves
or the
reporters,
second
were
movie.
Warren Butcher
I don't
of
know,
the sheriff's
and
office,
they hired him.
Thomas Payne of
you
the
know,
district
in
attorney's
Chicago.
office, Captain Edward Masterson of the Las Vegas Police Department, and old buddy Bernie Jenks, holding forth with his inimitable cool, Dr. Robert McCurgy, boy coroner.
We found that death in each case was extremely swift, coming in something less than a minute. After the initial wounds were inflicted, the blood was drained very quickly, some kind of suction device being used. Now, this would explain why no blood was found anywhere
What
in the
did Leslie
victims
do?
or
What
in the
am I
areas
missing?
they were discovered.
Doctor, Cold Shack Daily News.
Do you have any idea what could have made these wounds?
They're not unlike the bite of a medium-sized dog.
What do you mean, dog?
What? Dog. What are you telling us? A dog did these murders?
I didn't mean to indicate that the wounds were actually inflicted by a dog, only that they're similar to those which might be caused by a dog. A rather interesting point is that we found another substance mixed in with the traces of blood in the throat.
Oh, did she buy
namely
some
saliva.
memberships?
What do you mean, saliva?
I hate that it doesn't show me on here.
I mean saliva, Sheriff Butcher.
Hey,
Human saliva.
from MASH. I forget his character's name on MASH.
If Mukherjee had suggested that the murders were committed by a giant butterfly, he couldn't have made more sparks.
Now, what do you mean human? Are you suggesting that
No,
each
I
of these
forgot,
women was
Garrett.
bitten in the throat by
I've been
a man?
super
At present,
sick
the
this
evidence
whole
points
week.
that
This
way.
last week has been horrible.
However, I couldn't and wouldn't hazard a guess as to
It's
motivation.
been horrible. I
can
had
only show that
surgery.
shock induced
And
by
I
massive
started
loss
getting
of
really
blood.
sick.
Dr.
My
Purdy,
sweet little
is it
rat that I love so
possible
very much.
that he killed these
passed
women
away.
by biting them in the throat for the express
I was
purpose of drinking their
bedridden,
blood?
throwing up all
You're here
weekend.
by the
like,
mutual
it's been
suffrage of us
horrible.
all.
Sufferance.
But at least
What?
today I'm feeling a
It's
little
suffering,
bit
Sheriff.
better.
Whatever
So,
it is, just
pretty
shut
weak,
up.
but I'm not throwing up. So,
I'll answer that. There have been cases of people who, through some mental derangement,
and so it's
have come
kind of
to
last
believe
minute.
they
I
were
wasn't sure if I
vampires.
was gonna be able to do this
In Germany in the 1920s,
tonight
there
or
was
not.
one fellow
And
who
I
did
was
use
like,
his
what
teeth
if,
to rip
you know,
out
what
a
would be
leg.
Now, we are
fun
not
to
going to
watch?
jump to any conclusions about who or what.
And I get a lot of requests for this, and it's one that I love.
It is possible, you know, to type a person's blood from his saliva. If I were you, gentlemen, I'd look for a very anemic fellow, possibly with some rare blood disease.
Well, I don't care what kind of a nut killed these women.
I love the
I'll
Blob.
tell you this, he's
I'd
out
like to
there,
try to
I'll
play
bet
the
he's high on
original,
pot or the hard stuff,
the Blob.
and he's
too.
going to kill again unless you stop. Masterson, what have your
She was
people
getting
done
old.
this,
I knew she was
Parkway
going to pass
blood
away
test?
soon, but it still
Well, the
breaks my
latest
heart.
is
I had 2 rats just
she
like
saw something funny out
uh,
there last night.
not that long ago,
Early
2
this
months
morning.
ago, I think. Not even that.
Seems that
They
a
both have
tall,
passed
skinny
away in the
guy
last
dressed as an
2
orderly
months.
was nosing around the refrigerated storage area and trying to keep the blood in the plasma. She didn't think much of it then, but later when she spoke about the guy to the floor super.
44. Well, I got you beat. I'm 45. But happy late
guy on
birthday,
duty there.
Wes. Happy late birthday.
Description
Wes?
as follows.
Yeah, there you go. Happy late.
White male adult,
Thanks, guys.
6'2" to 6'4", thin, about 175 pounds, pale complexion.
Yeah, it still
Dark
makes me
hair.
sad to think of
So we
Mister.
start looking for a man, local resident, or worse yet, some outsider who may not even still be in the area. We check the airport, the bus terminal, railroad station, blockade the highways, and if we're lucky, we'll get him. If he's stupid enough to still be
Her name
hanging
was
around
Ash.
after 3 crimes. Now, you got any other suggestions?
Just
Like,
do it.
You know,
All
Evil
right,
Dead
let's work
Ash.
this up. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Doctor.
Mr. Payne, I shouldn't be too inclined to reject Mr. Kolchak's theory out of hand if I were you. It is at best highly speculative.
This is
but
the
not
first time I
altogether
haven't had at least
unwarranted.
1 rat in like 4 or 5 years. Something like that. It's a
Kolchak.
long time. So I'd like to
You can throw away that cassette.
get some more, but I gotta
Now,
go
this
back so I can
vampire stuff
clean up the
needs
house
to
and
stay right in this room.
pick
Until we have the assailant in custody, we say nothing about these women being drained of blood. There'll be no rumors, no reports in the paper. The official opinion at this time is that the cause of death is undetermined. We don't want to cause a panic. It's bad for police operations. It's bad for the people. And it's bad for business.
Nah, I'd love a kitten, but
Thank you for your
I live with my sister and she's deadly allergic.
Kolchak, I want to have a talk with you.
Otherwise, I would probably
Boys,
get a
there's
cat.
no
Although
reason to bother the doctor anymore.
I want to do a
have
lot of traveling,
bad
and it's a
statement
lot
in my
harder to
office.
leave a pet
You
like
can go
that.
back to the lab.
Someone take care of them whatever than it is a
You're
rat.
becoming a
With
real
rats,
pet.
you know, you just have
I'll
my
have to have a
sister or
word or
whatever
two with
pop in,
Vincenzo about
make
you.
sure they got food and water and they're good.
No, maybe one of the other boys at the office should handle this from here on.
Yeah, I
You
know,
get
Leslie.
over
I'm
it,
definitely
son.
ready
Get out
for
of other
some. I
people's
just need
business.
to
It's healthier that way.
figure out who to get them from.
Will you watch what you're saying? You know these guys. You could find yourself out of a job in 86 all over town.
That go for you too, Jenks?
Oh,
Thank
boy,
you
we
so
can talk
much,
to you when you get
Sika,
like this. Now,
for
listen,
your
I'll
generous
nose around
donation.
unofficially
Thank
for you
you.
on anything you bring me, just between the two of us. But do me a favor and stay away from me for a few days, just for friendship's sake.
Did I say it was a vampire?
Well, what does your suggested headline say?
The story makes it clear.
Vampire killer in Las Vegas? Question mark. Do I misread?
The story makes it clear.
Do I misread, or did you use the word vampire?
Some screwball who imagines he's a vampire is loose in Las Vegas, and people ought to be told.
If there's a screwball running around loose in Las Vegas, his last name begins with a K. You already heard about the little scene you have with the boys downtown.
I wonder why they chose
Clear?
Vegas of all cities. Because like you just never see TV series set in Vegas. Although maybe back then you did more.
How about a special featurette with a border of roses?
I know Vegas was a lot more of like a
in heaven
I don't
with
know,
a celestial
popular at the
choir in the
time.
back.
Like media wise, I think. Now it's more of like we don't talk about it, everybody loves it. We don't talk about it.
I guess I fell asleep. What were you saying?
You know, you do great things for my masculine ego, you know. Well, actually, I was saying that I think that Vincenzo has a new sense of a tree stump. It's got
I'll
to
be
Well,
46
man,
in December.
big, strong, psychotic.
December 10th.
Well, you're certainly making me very glad that I work nights.
Oh, well, I told you to quit working nights, didn't you?
It so does not fit this. Like in this show, he doesn't really have a significant other, and that fits him so much more. Like having this really attractive young girl, like does not fit. It's like he looks way too old for her, and it just doesn't fit his personality either because he's so much a workaholic.
I am forever in your debt, love.
What was that?
The killer's done it again.
Oh, no.
Only this time, he was seen.
I don't think it's not cheap to film in Vegas, man. Like it's not cheap at all to film in Vegas. I don't know where you think you heard that, Jack. So if that was the case, you'd see a lot of movies and things shot there, and you don't.
I saw him standing over there.
Like in certain places give you tax breaks.
And then he turned and
Yeah, the original CSI TV show was in Vegas.
there by the car. He must have fallen.
I'm just saying now, you just don't really see anything now. I loved the show Las Vegas, though. I was in love with that show. It was like one of the worst series endings of all time, though.
Victim number 4. Mary Brandon, showgirl, 25, 5
Thank you
feet,
so
8
much,
inches
Wes.
tall,
Hell yeah. Thank you.
125 luscious pounds.
Look at that. We're over
Plus the weight
50
of
in the
12
house,
pounds of
guys.
blood.
Well done.
It's like Bela Lugosi's struck again. Knock it off.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much.
Oops.
I'm all right now.
Now, the car he drove away in, was it new?
No.
Yeah, for a longest time, I always refused to do anything Christmas related until after my birthday. Because when you're growing up and your birthday's in December, like it gets overshadowed by Christmas so easily.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Cold Shack, the Daily News.
I don't really care anymore. Like my birthday's just kind of end of their day.
My best contact in Las Vegas has always been Helen O'Brien, chief switchboard operator at the county courthouse.
Hello, adorable.
You're a sadist.
Well, I could take it back.
Over my
Yeah, James, I'm that way too. I know when mine are too high or too low. I do test it regularly.
Now you couldn't help
But like the reason I test it is because I know. Like last night, I knew it was getting low.
bribed again.
But I checked to see the exact numbers so that I know how many carbs to take and to get it to a
I'd like to
nice,
see the killer
safe level. Wow, the Steelers are up on the Browns. Nobody gave the Steelers a chance after the way they looked against my Niners. Wow, YouTube me. That's a huge family. I don't talk to almost any of my family, so I don't know. The ones I know is only a couple, but oh, thank you so much, John. One of the things I remembered about Kolchak series was his camera breaking when he tried to get a photo of whatever monster he called. Yep. Like it happened like almost every episode. It would always jam up on him, or he would take a picture of it, but the picture would always come out blurry. That's the strangest reaction of fear I've ever seen from an actor. He's just like, just standing there. He is very creepy Dracula, though. I love it.
Sherman Duffy of the Chicago Globe once described a reporter as follows. Socially, he fits in somewhere between a hooker and a bartender.
Yeah, Kansas City has not looked great so far this year.
The world is round. Not that it does
but
much good, of course. When
so early in the year, too many people like I hear all these people saying the Cowboys are the Super Bowl favorites and all this. It's like, dude, it's 2 games in, man.
I mean, this is unacceptable.
Just like people saying that the Niners should be Super Bowl favorites. Like, it's 2 games in. Like it could, there's going to be so many injuries between now and the end of the year.
Your pressure, Kolchak. I'm tired of the owner's pressure.
Thank you for your Republic. Thank you so much.
Up on the one hand and keep it under wraps on the other.
You know what the funny thing is about that though is like you say you should get a better camera, but that's like what happens in real life. Like all these people that get these
testimonial from
UFO pictures or
Bigfoot
pictures or whatever, and yet for some reason they always say that something happened with their camera.
He has drained every drop of blood from every one of them. Now that is news, Vincenzo. News. And we are a news paper. We are supposed to print news, not suppress it.
You know darn well why we're soft peddling this thing.
No, tell me why. Could it be because
Thank you, CJ. Thank you so much.
You're an idiot. Worse, you're irresponsible. All these murders mean to you is a byline.
Well, what the hell difference does it matter what it means to me? The point is that we are suppressing news. We are withholding information. Everybody in town knows what's going on. The police, the DA, the coroner's office, every reporter on every newspaper in Las Vegas knows what's going on. The only people who don't know are the people.
At last, you got the point.
I guess that makes sense. Like, because that was pretty cutting-edge technology.
Because the people in Las Vegas would come unglued if they did know. Even more than they're coming unglued already. Capiche?
Tuesday, May 25th, 7:30 p.m. Helen O'Brien had told me that the DMV had come up with 16 possibles. All but one had been eliminated. The car owner's name, Martin Lubin.
Yeah, it's like people are counting out Cincinnati already too, Daniel, and it's like, dude, it's 2 games in. You know how many years there's been teams that started out 0-2 or even 0-3 and still end up going on to the Super Bowl or whatever? Like, you know, it's too early.
All right, now,
a lot of times it has to do with the matchups too. Like, I'm not saying that the Dallas isn't a good team, but they haven't really played that great a competition yet. I mean, hello, yeah, the Jets and Giants, exactly. It's like
$300 too high. And he keeps staring at me as if daring me to tell him the price is $12.
Like people that are trying to compare them and the Niners, I'm like, dude, the Niners have played 2 teams that a lot of people think are playoff teams, or at least possible playoff teams, especially Pittsburgh.
I started to say no.
You know, and then whereas Cowboys are playing 2 teams that most people think are 2 of the worst teams in football, especially the Jets now without Aaron Rodgers. Like, are you kidding me?
All my life, I've waited for a story like this. All my life. When it finally comes, I can't get it printed. Do you know the whole?
See, perfect example. The Cowboys 0-2 and ended up going on to win the Super Bowl. One of the greatest teams that's ever been. Like that Cowboys team was ridiculous.
How many times has it been? Twice in Washington, 3 times in New York, twice in Chicago.
See, they already talk about it in this.
Twice in Boston.
That he keeps being fired from the different places.
Becoming extinct in my own lifetime.
But I'm guessing it was cheaper to shoot it in Chicago.
You know, I really ought to.
So that's why they moved the series to Chicago.
Here.
Yeah, they always say, and I agree, you can't really
And you'll
get an
see.
idea even at all of what a team's going to be like.
That weirdo said
Oh,
5
until the
girls
first quarter of
all
the
night
season's
were-
over. So you got to see the
Yeah,
first 4 or
5.
5 games
Yeah.
to even have a
A girl
clue.
named Shelley Forbes is missing, and I'll bet my bottom dollar she's victim number 5. Hey, you know, you are in the shirt pretty good there.
Carl, I've been doing some thinking.
Yeah, you're talking about the surgeon's photo.
What do you know
Connor.
about
Yeah,
vampires?
Well, only they wear
we
their
know of,
suits and
like, for a fact how that photo was used
Will you please be
or
serious?
fake. It's been known for a long time that it was fake. Like, even the original, it's so obvious that it was fake. It's just whenever you see the surgeon's photo, it's
Everything you always
zoomed
wanna know
in. But if
about
you see the
vampires is
actual
straight line.
original photo, when
No,
it's
you're
zoomed
going
out,
to
you're
look
like,
at
dude,
it.
it's so obviously a little
What if the
boat or a
killer's a real
little
vampire?
Oh,
a little thing
please,
on top of
he's
the
done
boat.
everything
But yeah, his
in the
kid came
book.
out
You're
and
going to read it.
Yes, all
on his
right.
deathbed and said how that him and his dad had made it.
Ooh, ah.
Oh, now, come on. You're a big, tough reporter. You can take it. You might even get a good feature article out of it.
Ah. Since the beginning.
Yeah, I
of
really
the
like that
systems,
too, Joe. In the
creatures of
series,
light,
their
raised
relationship
monsters
is much more
attracted
like
what he prints through the pages of
fleshed out and
documentation.
entertaining. It
Of them
goes a
all,
lot
the vampire
deeper.
seems to have accumulated the largest body of.
Yeah, he really did. Like, there's that one episode where he like goes to bat for Kolchak when he's at the police
By
station.
night, the
And
vampire
you're like, okay, I
is
get it.
virtually
Kolchak just drives him
indestructible, fearing
crazy.
only the
But he even
sun
tells him at
crops.
times, like, you're one of the best
Before
reporters
daybreak,
I
he must
know
return
and
to his
stuff.
coffin, otherwise he will be destroyed by the purifying rays of the sun. It is then, while he lies dormant, he can be destroyed by hammering a wooden stake through his heart.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, me and Haunted Hippie have done. We did
According to the
interview
legend,
together
the victim of the
on.
vampire will ultimately rise again as the living dead and must be
a friend of ours
destroyed
channel.
in a
But
similar
yeah,
manner.
me and her are cool. Yeah,
From any
I
source
respect her a lot.
available, the vampire must
Like, she's
have
great.
blood.
Hey, sports ball. You mean me and Haunted Hippie would be a great couple, as in I'm the dad and she's the daughter? Like, I'm literally like, my kid is way older than her. She's like 20. She's a really cool chick, though. I've talked to her. Guys, we did an interview together where we both talked about the greatest directors in our opinion.
I was doing double
I
duty
think
as
you'll
night editor
see
when the PD squad box went
Niners,
crazy about a
Eagles,
wild brawl at the
Cowboys. You'll see all three of those, possibly Tampa, like down, you know, it'll be, you'll see one of those, but I have a feeling you'll also see one surprise team in there where you don't even, you know, like you're not expecting them at all. Injuries just have such a huge impact on the NFL. Like look at them with the Jets. If they had Aaron Rodgers still, you know, I think everybody's still giving that team a chance, at least to get to the playoffs, whereas now, you know, nobody gives them a chance in hell. You know, so it's like the Niners, they lose their quarterback, or the Cowboys, or every other team in the NFL, pretty much. You lose your quarterback, there's a good chance you're done for the year. And not just that, I mean, there's a few other key players. You lose a couple key players, and you're done.
Thursday, May 27th, 8:20 a.m.
I loved The Incredible Hulk as a kid
Our morning
too. As
edition
like,
hit the
love
streets,
that show.
recapping all the action.
It had such great heart
The
to it
TV
as well.
people, as usual, had
Thank
missed out
you, YouTube
completely,
me.
and the radio
You're
stations
awesome.
were literally reading our copy
Mentioning
on the air.
following, did
But now
you
the whole
see
lid
my
was really
comment
blown
about
off.
the
The
various
maniac
channels
had been
that follow
identified.
horror? And I said, I think
Sorry, I just got these out of the
I know I saw it, and feel like I checked out all the channels that were in your comment, but I
Now-
don't remember. I think I did though.
Here's a rundown on
I know I
the
followed a
Scotland
couple
Yard
of
and
them for
Interpol
sure.
findings. Subject, Janos Skorzny.
Like
Born in
especially
Trieste,
the Creature
Romania,
Features one. I followed
1899.
them and watched some of their
Now,
content.
wait just a minute. You trying to tell me this guy is over 70 years old? Come on, Bernie. Your boys have come up with a wrong man.
Like hell we have.
You know what's interesting
These
about
facts have been
this?
triple checked and confirmed.
And I chose this. This
Look,
is the
I've been a
movie
whole lot
version
and
of
I
this.
put the
But if
time.
you
Now,
watch
wonder,
the
don't you?
series,
All
this
right,
is
Bernie, just take
the
it easy.
first episode. It's
Let's
like
hear it.
season 1, episode 1,
All right.
and it's a shortened version. It's
Skorzny's
like
father died
15
in
minutes shorter.
1923. He left somewhere
And I've never
between
really sit down and
75
compared the
$100
difference.
million.
I don't know how much they edited, like what 15 minutes were edited out.
This
But
time he began to travel, and he became known throughout Eastern Europe as a big lover of nightlife. Now, we don't have a lot more on him before World War II. However, Scotland Yard reports that he showed up in England just in time for the
Treehouse,
German
huh?
Blitz. I'm sure Mr. Kolchak will find the
keep an eye out for
following
that.
facts of interest.
Such formality. A man who always guzzles my beer.
While in England, he passed himself off
Yeah,
as
exactly,
Dr.
Wes.
Paul
Like,
Belasco,
it's
specialist in
too early in the
hematology
year to
research.
make.
His work
Even
involves
late in the
freshly
year,
killed
sometimes
early
you,
victims
there's
from
so many
various London
stories of
emergency
teams
rooms.
that come out of
As a matter
nowhere,
of
you
fact,
know, barely
his
squeak into
residence
the
in Sheffield
playoffs
Court,
and then end up
he
going on
installed
a
several
run.
kinds of sumps, tubs,
That's the thing about
and an
football.
extremely
It's just,
large
you
commercial
only,
meat freezer.
it's not like in other sports where you get a best of, because in those best of,
By
generally the best
1948,
team
he
wins.
turned up in Canada still as Dr.
But with
Belasco.
football, it's like the best team
Further
on that
checking
day
made
wins.
his presence known in almost every place along the U.S.-Canadian border where rioting and violence and a number of dead bodies were found. We believe he left Canada for Vegas April 19th under the name of Detective Constable Alan Hensley. Now, because of his British citizenship,
Exactly.
he is
And
an
that's why,
international fugitive.
you know, I heard
So
people
my
today,
people
like I was
are
watching
very
like First
interested.
Take and Undisputed, and like,
This is
you're
no
already
more
counting
than
out
just a
Kansas
local
City.
match.
I'm like, dude, are you guys high? Like, do you not
Now, gentlemen,
see what's going on? Like,
the one constant that has shown up
early
all
in the
of our
year for
reports
one,
is
but for two,
that
they don't
Skorzny's
have all their
travels have always
guys.
been accompanied by a number of unexplained killings, many of which have one thing
It's
in
only like an
common.
hour and 20, I think, hour and 15, hour and 15, hour and 20.
A
something like
massive
that,
loss of blood. So,
this movie.
if Skorzny is not the vampire of Mr. Kolchak's theories, he is certainly the suspect of multiple homicides extending back some 30 years.
Mr. Jenks, you seem to be running this show. Could I have a minute to say something?
Mr. Kolchak, you have the floor.
Kolchak, you keep it short.
I was at the hospital yesterday.
I remember
and a lot of things were
all
happening
the
that you
adults
just
watching
simply
those shows,
cannot
but I think it was a little too
explain away.
young, but they were just
Sheriff?
boring.
Your own men shot at him, some at point
I remember
blank
all the
range.
parents
How
talking
come
about
it
him.
didn't slow him down? How come a man over 70 years old can outrun a police car? How come the same man, when slugged in the head, doesn't even bleed? Now, I saw those guys.
Exactly,
there,
YouTube.
And whatever
That's
was
exactly it.
trickled down from
You
the wound,
know,
it
you
was
can say
clear.
that about
It was not
sport in general. Like it's definitely, like I said, in football more than any because of one game. You know, that's it.
So
But
far, he has killed
I mean,
four,
really, it's
probably
all sports.
5
Like
women.
you know,
Now, the coroner
boxing.
said
I mean, how
that those
every
bite marks
single
on the throat
type of
were made
sport,
by
there's
human teeth.
a story
I can
about an
confirm the
underdog
fact
or someone
he
that had never
actually
came from
drank their
hell,
blood. Now,
winning it all. And
Whatever
stuff.
the Skorzny may be, he seemed to be functioning as if he were a vampire. Now, you can go on operating.
Yeah,
as
and
if
see, I
you
think
were an
people are
ordinary man. That's up to
underappreciating
you.
the Jaguars.
But I know
I actually
that
think
the
that
only
Chiefs
way
win
you're
over the
gonna get him
Jaguars
is if
by
you
the end of the
proceed
year,
under
we'll look at that
assumption
as a
he's
much
real
bigger
live
deal than we do
vampire.
now. I think the Jaguars are the playoff team.
Wait a minute, Kolchak. Have you lost your mind? Can you imagine the total blind
In the
panic this town
stranger's
would be in
house,
if the
huh?
public were told we were actually looking for a vampire? Not
keep
to
an eye out
mention
for that
the
one.
irreparable damage it would do to the image of law enforcement in Vegas.
That's what it's all about, isn't it?
It's going to be a little bit before I do another
Well, I
Tubi
really
list
can't
because
believe that
I'm
you
literally
guys are
editing
so
the
afraid
last
of
Tubi
appearing
list
stupid
that will probably come
that
out
you'll ignore the only
until
possible way of
November.
nailing him.
You listen, Kolchak, and you listen good.
because
We'll handle this by
October
ourselves,
plan is to
and
mostly
without
release
undue
Halloween
public
related.
observation.
No undue public
type of thing.
observation. You've blown it already.
I'm
Look
also-
here. Look what's appeared in my paper today. People are gonna
Hopefully
be
you
calling
guys will
for a
all like
grand
it.
jury
And hopefully the
investigation. You
algorithm
can't
will
stop
like
the
it and
rumors.
promote it. But
Oh.
I'm going to do a
Sit down.
ranking video. So instead of a list, it's going to be ranking. I'm going to do these different rankings.
I don't care what's been printed.
Probably with directors, do a few.
This man is still
I don't
classified
know.
as an ordinary maniac, and
But
he'll be settled by
I'm gonna
standard
start with,
police procedures. Oh boy! And you
ranking
better
all the
start
Rob
cooperating
Zombie
with that
movies. I
fact,
just got
Kolchak,
done.
or you wanna
Just
get your
got done.
pushy tushy
Just
kicked
got
right out of
finished
town.
watching
You dig?
the last one of his
Yes, sir, I
movies.
dig.
I had to rewatch a few of them.
But just remember, the next time you blow it,
There was only
who's got the answers?
one I hadn't seen of Rob Zombie's movies.
All
I
right,
rewatched
Ed.
a couple of them too.
Let's get on with it. What have you got?
Well, two
Plan is to
departments
shoot
combined
that
of
tomorrow if I'm feeling better.
650 men on full-time
I
duty.
got to get my
All
nails
leaving
done
to
tomorrow
cancel
too,
it,
and I got to
working a
get
16-hour day.
costume.
Our chopper is going from dusk to dawn. We've got unmarked
What's up,
cars
fish
patrolling
boy?
the casino center and the strip. All roads are blocked, and we're receiving.
I actually
complete
just rewatched
cooperation
House of a
from the Highway
Thousand
Patrol and
Corpses
the Jeep posse.
this weekend.
You got it?
I love that
Got
movie.
it. Repeat.
Every time I think, oh, it's been a while since it's not going to hold up,
Show every real
I
estate
still am
agent
like,
in
man, I
town a
still
picture
fucking
of
love this
guy's
movie.
puss and ask them if they sold a house to anybody that looks like him.
Good boy, you got it. Now get going.
Now wait a minute. When did I lose this last dollar?
Mickey, has the idea of winning
Wes,
ever
I
occurred
did
to you?
2 videos on werewolves.
Really?
But I actually didn't do a ranking type of format, but I did 2 different videos, my 10 best and then my second 10 best. So technically it's 20 best werewolf
You know,
movies.
I have a very strange...
Those are 2 of my best videos,
feeling
performance-wise.
that the
Well,
police are
especially the
gonna
first
catch
one.
his murderer. I also have another very unhappy feeling.
Which is
That this case may be even bigger than I thought it was.
big.
Well,
I really
strange,
enjoyed The
yeah.
Last Voyage of the Demeter, too. I'm blown
I've seen
away
a lot of weird things in my life.
that more people are not enjoying
I
that
have
movie.
never, ever seen
I
any.
just feel like people are too damn picky. Like everybody
You don't tell me that you're
expects,
finally going to believe
like they just want every movie to be like the greatest movie ever made or something, and it's like I don't understand that. I don't understand how you can't just enjoy a movie. Like
Code 1033, code 1033. All units. Janos Skorzeny, spotted in 1969. Green unpaneled station wagon.
all right, see, I'll try to remember, but more than likely I'll forget. So you can leave it as a comment on a video. That way I can add it to. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I have my phone. I'll just do it right now. The tree house. Because your last one you recommended, I really liked. So.
Units 4, 6, move north to face Unit 3 and Park Paseo and 5th. Unit 5, move up to bracket to 5th place, to 5th place. All
I don't see it. You sure it's on Tubi, CJ? Yeah, it's not on Tubi, CJ. Maybe they removed it.
Get up. Slowly.
I love this part. I don't get it. Saying right here that it's on Tubi. But when I search for it, it's not. There we go. I found it. That's stupid. Just because I put the, it didn't come up. But it's under Treehouse. I love Whir. I'd love to recommend Whir again, but
Friday, May
it's not
28th,
available.
3:17 a.m.
despite the helicopter, the highway
Hasn't been
patrol,
available on
the jeep
TV
posse.
or
Despite
Prime
the
in a while,
blocking
but
of every major
next
road
time it
and
is, I'll
highway,
recommend it
despite
again
the
because I love
mass
War.
coverage of
It's
Las
like one of the
Vegas
best
by every
recent
available
werewolf
man in
movies.
both police and sheriff departments, Gianno Scorzini was still at large. The courthouse conference room had been a scene of chaos for more than 3 hours now. Messages were still flooding in from every outside unit. Every available man who had taken place in the capture attempt was being debriefed. At the hospital, 2 officers had died and a third was hovering on the edge. Reports on them were still coming in as the greatest manhunt in the history of Las
Everyone's
Vegas
a
continued in
critic, not a director. That's the thing. I think if more people were directors, they would appreciate movies
Thanks,
more.
Bernie. Yeah. Well, what are we going to do?
I enjoyed Elements.
Now, are you willing to listen to my insane idea?
I definitely don't think it was
Get out of
near as
here,
bad as
Warren.
people are acting like it was.
Kolchak, you were there, weren't you?
Yeah.
Every man we've questioned insists not only that Scorzini was possessed of incredible strength, but that he was shot more than once during the capture attempt.
Oh, I'd say 30, 40 times.
I'm sorry, I'm not buying that.
Captain, you have
He did make tire squeals on dirt.
either he was shot or your entire police department is blind.
It's so funny how
let's admit
like
it, we
viewers
had
now
that
are so much more like tear stuff apart because no one back then noticed or cared that tires don't spill on.
Before I do, is it agreed that in return for
entertainment,
my
you know what I mean?
help, you will grant
But
me
now
the
you're right.
exclusive
1,000 people would be like,
rights to the
"That's not
entire
accurate.
story.
You couldn't have tires squealing on the dirt."
Well, let's say it's agreeable if we decide to follow your suggestions regarding.
Yeah, first it was vampires,
Fine,
now
but
it's
if you don't follow
aliens
my
owning
suggestion,
the
you're going to be chasing your
Vegas
suspect
PD.
for
Like,
doomsday.
Kolchak, just get on with it.
Of course.
yeah, Werewolf Within is really
Each man in the field
very funny.
is to be issued one of these, to be carried in his pocket. This gentleman,
Where'd you get that?
well, I have a friend who's got a furniture repair store. I woke him up and had him make it. Each man in the field is to be issued one of these and one of these.
Are you suggesting that we pound one of these into Scorzini's chest?
No, into his heart.
There's a legal phrase for that, Kolchak. You might have run into it once or twice in your broad experience. It's called premeditated murder.
How is that
Anyway,
but
from
not
starting.
shooting?
You heard your own men. Can they all be wrong? Oh, you can stop your nighttime chases from now on, too, gentlemen. The only hope you have is to spot Scorzini and then track him back to where he lives and wait until sunrise before finishing him off. He's only vulnerable during the day. At night, he's much too strong. Yes, gentlemen, I hate to say this, but it looks as if we have a real live vampire on our hands.
I love how amused he is. He knows they all think he's crazy, but he knows he's right.
Ed.
Yes, sir.
Thing is, he started out thinking it was hogwash himself.
Tom, I'd like to be in on this too.
Yes, she does. And she has a signed script from Hellraiser.
Okay, Kolchak, you got yourself a deal. Conditional.
Ones that John got me.
Put you here, we'll issue the crosses, the mallets, the stakes. The one thing he won't do is depart from established police procedures. If feasible, Scorzini is to be taken alive and held for trial.
Trial.
That's right, trial.
Trial. All right. In return for what?
You'll get the exclusive rights to the story.
The movie smells like
when
Old
the
Spice.
blackout.
Hey, I wear Old
So
Spice.
one more.
What's that?
If it turns out you were wrong, you're to be out of town in 12 hours. Take it or leave it.
All right, I'll take it. Because I know I'm right. And
The
you
guys are
know
such
I'm
kidders.
right. Ciao. I'll take Manhattan, the Bronx and Staten Island too. Watch out, you great big wonderful Big Apple. Kolchak's coming back.
Yeah, I think that's why I wear Old Spice and love Old Spice, because it just reminds me of like when I was a kid, like, you know, that classic guy smell, like my grandpa and dad and stuff. God, this eye is driving me crazy today. Actually, I'm gonna take this off. This wound on my forehead gets sore if I wear a hat too long.
It's me, Crawford. What are you doing driving off with me in the back seat?
What are you doing in my backseat?
To talk to you. I saw your car parked.
Like, what are you doing driving off with me in your back
Blame
seat?
me.
Well, why are you in my back seat?
Hey, I think I found the house.
I don't think I remember what a race car smells like. Or do you mean like
I told
car,
Tom to
like
give me 30
itself?
minutes before telling Jenks where I was. That way I could get to see the house alone for a while and also keep the police from arriving before dawn, which I knew they'd do if they got the chance, no matter what I told them.
I've never been a big fan of Brute. I think it's funny, like when you're growing up, at least for me, it was kind of like it was Brute, or it was Old Spice, or it was Aqua Velvet, or whatever. It's pretty much one of those three like smell profiles. It's just like, hey, Old Spice for me. I wish I was more of a reader, because I would love to read Clive Barker. I'd love to read a lot of different authors' books. Reading is not my forte. Although I used to really do a lot of audiobooks. I'd like to try to give that a shot again before too long. Yeah, I know I felt that way too, Jesse, when I first saw this. But then I don't know, after you watch the series, like you get into the series for a little bit, he's just a very different character than he is in the Christmas Story. So it's pretty quick before he becomes Kolchak, because he's even more of a character and unique in the series than he is in this movie. And he's definitely less of a badass in the series. He's more of a does what he's got to do to get the job done, but he's kind of a bumbling, like kind of silly guy too. I need to figure out what to do costume wise for my first video. I'm glad, Joe. That means a lot. I'm glad that you're digging this. Yeah, some of my favorite visuals are in the series when he's like running and his hat starts flying off and he's like hanging onto his hat as he's running. So funny. Oh yeah, him driving Vincent nuts is like you know, that's the main humor of each episode. There is 2 seasons. Professorist. There's 2 seasons of the Night Stalker of Kolchak. Right? Am I tripping? Yeah, there's 2 seasons. It's just not that many episodes. It's not like back in the day when there would be like lots of episodes. I think there was only like 12 episodes a season or something like that. Let me double check. Maybe I'm tripping. Because I've been watching it on a Peacock. Okay, I guess there is only one. It's just 20 episodes, one season. Why am I thinking there was 2 seasons? Yeah, 1 season. Damn. My bad. I don't know why I was thinking it was 2 seasons. I know it wasn't enough. I've rewatched every episode so many times. Like, yeah, I wonder if it was just people weren't ready for it at the time or something. It almost feels like it would have done better in the 80s. You know, like if it had just been a couple years later. Because, like, it feels like it would have fit in perfect with, like, Murder, She Wrote, you know? There was a revival? Like a remake? I didn't see that on here. Oh, is it just called Night Stalker? Yeah, I need to come up with a costume for Halloween. I got to go get one tomorrow. It's like basically gonna do some type of costume for each episode in October. I don't either, Deidre. I don't watch a lot of series either because I think patience is a part of it.
Chevy Forbes.
I don't see it. I only see a show called Night Stalker. I don't see anything called Kolchak. Thank you, Wes. Thank you so much. Hell yeah. I need all the help I can get with costumes. I gotta get like at least five different ones. So that definitely appreciate that very much. Yeah, I'm still looking. I don't see any newer version of it. Oh, hold on. Maybe here we go. I think I found it.
Hold still. It won't stick.
Yeah, it's just listed as Night Stalker, but yeah, it's just listed as Night Stalker. Maybe they called it Kolchak, but at least as far as on IMDb and on Google, they're just calling it Night Stalker. Oh, I love Twin Peaks. Love that show so much. As a matter of fact, man, I think I might start rewatching that again tonight. I love that show. I don't think Odorous has an eye patch. Maybe he does, but I don't remember Odorous having an eye patch. That sounds fun. That sounds really fun. What kind of music do you play, Jesse? I loved Depp's role in Tusk. I know a lot of people hate on that role, but I loved it. It's ridiculous. Take the freaking picture. I think at this point, he's more concerned with just surviving. But I also don't think vampires can be photographed, right? They don't show up in a mirror. They couldn't be photographed. Yeah, he actually looks really good, especially for this era as vampire. Like, surprisingly. Thank you, CJ. Thank you. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no point in taking a picture of him if he doesn't appear. And I also don't know why he's surprised then when he shot him. Like he said, he was shot like 40 times by the cops. He saw it. Who did the makeup on him in this? Because it's really good. Like, it reminds me of what they did in Salem's Lot. Like, it has that same similar creepiness. That guy totally reminds me of Kelsey Grammer. The haircut's a choice, though. I don't know if I like that haircut choice, but
Do you think they'll print it?
I know.
yeah, it is so Friday night. I never even thought about that.
Do you want me to drive it to the office?
Go on, hush your bag.
Like, they totally
finish this in time for the special.
guarantee you that this inspired Fright Night in that regard.
Oh, not that again.
Because I know this was super influential to a lot of the filmmakers and stuff in the 80s and 90s, or 80s for sure.
Oh, baby, you're gonna love New York City. Honey, after this story hits the news services with my byline on it.
Us married?
Yes, us married. Don't look now, baby. But Kolchak's coming back in style.
I don't understand the choice of that. I mean, maybe he's not that old here. Like,
there you are,
but he
And
just
if I do
looks
say so
so
myself, it's sensational.
old.
I'm sure
In
it is.
reality, he's
You're
probably
gonna put
my
it in special
age
edition,
or
right?
younger.
Yeah, with pictures. Yeah, and the news services.
Okay, fine.
Let's go in.
What's up, LFC Beast?
I think
Thank
this is all
you.
fine, Carl. Fine.
Um,
Jenks has been trying to reach you.
Yeah, what do you want?
A bunch of
Wants
you.
to see you over at the DA's office. Why don't
Leslie
you run
got
over
me
there now?
this Phantasm thing last week.
Kolchak.
It is from the film, or real of the film. And I've
You're one hell of a reporter.
got this picture over here that Jennifer made for me, and different collectibles. Like, I've added each week for Halloween. So I got this
And a bright good morning to all of you.
this skull lamp thing
Bernie, what
here.
do you,
Is your name Carl Kolchak, and do you reside in the city of Las Vegas?
well, you know my name's Carl Kolchak. What's going on?
Carl Kolchak, you're under arrest on the charge of murder. The state requires that you be informed that you have the right to remain silent.
Oh, no. No chance. You're not going to pull that one on me.
Kolchak! You are under arrest.
Yep.
All right, Payne, just what kind of a dirty deal is this?
Had to put
You
Lugosi
have a
up
very short
for
memory, Kolchak. A few
getting
hours
into
ago,
the Halloween
Sheriff Butcher
season.
himself saw you actually pound a wooden stake through a man's heart with this mallet. A man wanted for questioning. Questioning, mind you. He hadn't been arrested. He hadn't even been charged.
You broke up our stakeout. And after we were kind enough to invite you to go along, you just charged in there in front of us and killed Janos Skorzeny.
Yeah, it looks
before we had a
incredible.
chance to
I
do
love
anything.
it back there.
Well, you
All
were
lit up.
ranting and raving about this Skorzeny being some kind of a vampire. And You had to save the world.
And that, Mr. Kolchak, is murder one. Now, if you plead insanity, you might get lucky, but I promise you this. You'll be committed to an asylum for the rest of your life.
I pull your fat out of the fire and you do this.
Carl, will you just sit down a minute and listen to them?
Bernie, you were there.
Carl, just listen.
It's so messed up because in a lot of ways, this is what.
This is your
happened.
story, Kolchak.
Yep.
It's
The
all
way you can explain it.
This morning, shortly before sunrise, Las Vegas sheriff deputies under the command of Sheriff Warren A.
Thank you,
Butcher 45 surrounded the home of Janos Skorzeny, a fugitive from a federal warrant, and in a pitch gun battle were forced to kill him.
Never. You'll never get away with it.
What's to stop me?
You're going to stop yourself, Kolchak. Because if you open your mouth, we'll find you.
I'm almost at 30K.
Useless warrant, and
I should
put
hit
you
28 in
away
the
forever.
next day or so, or probably by tomorrow. It just comes in waves.
Pick him up, Kolchak. Pick him up and get out of town. Now, we'll take care of your back rent.
I want to call Gail.
She's not there, Carl.
What have you done with her?
Nothing. We just asked the young lady if she'd be good enough to leave town.
She's an undesirable element, Kolchak, and we don't want undesirable elements in Las Vegas.
It's Vegas. Yeah, LAFC Beats will probably do something like that next Monday.
Carl.
Go back to or do another
There's nothing.
watching
I can do.
shorts, trailers, things like that.
Carl, you let me know where you end up.
Yep. It would have literally cost them all of
Yeah,
their
sure,
jobs
Brian.
if they went with that story. And that's like what's fucked up about government politics. Like shit's happening all the time.
So all the loose ends have been gathered together and tied into a pretty knot. Right around
Yeah,
the
all
neck.
I focus on is not the 30,000.
After I
That's
left town, I began.
I
writing
want to
notes
get to
in
100,000.
personal
Like
columns
that's
of
all that.
newspapers from San Francisco
Subscriber wise, that's the only number that
until I ran out of money.
you know, because it's 50,000
So far, I've
next
received no
and
answers.
100,000. Like
But
those are the
I'll keep trying,
numbers
even
that
though
are
I
kind of
don't
like
think I'll ever find Gail Foster.
milestone moments that really matter to me.
Maybe it's just as well. So that's it. The book's
But
finished. And
it goes
now
up
you'll
fast,
have to judge
especially
for yourself.
when
I
YouTube
must
decides
warn
to
you,
start
however,
sharing the
if you
channel
try to
again.
verify
Like
this
right now, they're
account,
not
you will find it quite impossible.
sharing it that much.
Item, in
Like
Washington,
my last
D.C.,
week's
there is
video
no
did
longer a
horribly.
file listing the suspect under his true name or any of his alleged aliases. Item. In Las Vegas, all of those
Dude, that would be
involved
sick
by
to have a
the
Kolchak hat. I
are
don't think I've ever seen a Kolchak hat or any
I
Kolchak
haven't had a decent
merch for
night's
that
sleep
matter.
since
That
all
would be
this happened.
so cool.
And now you might find it difficult too. Because there is still one fact that cannot be buried. After the death of Janos Skorzeny, he and all of his victims were immediately cremated.
It does, CJ, it does help
Remember the
out
legend?
small businesses. You
All
just have to
those
keep
who
at
die
it.
from
Like,
the bite of the vampire,
you know?
will return as a vampire,
because it'll
unless destroyed first.
it'll
So
just
think
come
about
in
it
waves.
and try to tell yourself, wherever you may be, in the quiet of
You
your
know, like I
home,
jumped
in the safety
from
of your bed,
10 to
try to
20
tell
in
yourself,
like
it
2
couldn't
months.
happen here.
I think 2 or 3 months, you know, and then from 20 to where I'm at now, 28, it's taken like another 6 months. Like it just, you know, if things like hopefully in the next couple of months, we'll see another growth spurt. And, you know, that's just how it works. Like I know channels like Cody Leach went from 60,000 to 100,000 in like 3 months. It just all of a sudden hit upswing and it just boof, you know. That's such a good movie. It's not as fun as the series, though, in my opinion. but I still love it in like a different way. It's just a lot darker, especially the ending. Thank you, CJ. That means a lot to me. It really does. I appreciate everybody, like all you guys. Like, it's. I'm not in this for like trying to get rich. I'm not in this trying to get famous. I'm in this to make some good stuff for you guys, help you guys, and just try to get better and better every video and make the best stuff I can. And I just try my best to just focus on that and not worry about the growing and all of that. But, it does get stressful and it does get frustrating. It's not the growing part. Like the subscriber part doesn't bother me as far as that growing. What gets to me is when I have a video that, like last Friday's, I worked super hard on it. I thought everything about it was really good, and then it is one of the worst performing videos I've had this entire year. Like, it makes no sense. Like, I still can't figure it out. But, I've had it happen before, and it's strange. Sometimes it'll just all of a sudden pop off. Like, that video will just go up super fast out of nowhere in the next, couple days. Like, it's just bizarre. So you can't get caught up in it too much. You just have to kind of go on to the next thing, Thank you, Susurus. Yeah, I mean, it's you guys that make this worthwhile. Like, I love the work and I love creating stuff, but you guys are what always make it worthwhile. And that's especially why I love the Monday movie nights, because it's like it gives me a chance to like reconnect with you guys, and it reminds me of what's special about this community and channel, that what's happening here, because it's easy to kind of get caught up in it all, and I feel like like, why am I doing this? What's the point? Like, it's not good, it's not growing, it's not whatever. But thank you, Sija. Thank you so much. Same happens to me. The ones I work hard on flop, and the ones I'm like, fuck it, take off. It's bizarre. Yep. You can never know for sure what's going to do well and what's not going to. Like, I work as hard as I possibly can on every single video. I make the best videos. Literally every single video I try to make is like the best. I try to make it better than the last. Like, so Can't give you a chance to listen to the Phantasm soundtrack that I shared with you. No, I didn't. I always forget that you shared those. I do want to listen to that, though. I'm just like always working and always thinking about this channel and working on it in one way or another. And if I'm not, I'm literally, if I'm not working on the channel and thinking about it, then I'm doing something that's completely nothing to do with the channel, you know, so that I can stop thinking about horror and stop thinking about, you know, everything to do with horror. Otherwise, like, you know, it's burnout. You get burnout city. That's awesome, LAFC Beast. That really is. I love that I've been able to help you guys and introduce you guys to some fun stuff. Even the chair review. Man, I've tried really hard to make that as good of a chair review as I could. But like, nobody's watching. I think 300 people watched that video. But I was like, whatever. I got the chair for free. It's like a $500 or $400 chair or whatever. Yeah. These little silver shamrock collectibles up here, I love those guys. And I kind of moved them down because you have only really been seeing this upper stuff and I wanted these because it's Halloween to be more noticeable. Like I'm always adjusting things back here. Probably a lot of people don't even notice, but I'm always moving things around. Every video I've messed with it for like way too long. way too much time spent on little things like that. Just your support, Cesarus, means the world to me. Like, I don't ever want any of you guys to feel bad if you don't send me money or whatever. Like, just showing up, man. Like, that stuff's what really matters, and that stuff's what matters in the end, and keeps the channel growing, and, Thank you, CJ. Yeah, I know. I definitely know it will. Like, you guys keep me believing because it's like, I believe in you guys. You know what I mean? And it's like reciprocal. It's like you believe in me, which means I'm like, all right, I believe in them. And if they believe in me, then they must be right. So I'm going to keep on keeping on. Thank you, Leslie. My highest recommendation for that is if you want to start a channel, just start making shit. It's going to take you a long time before you figure out what works for you, and then beyond what works for you, what works in general. Because like it took me a little while before I knew, and then I was like, okay, I want to do something horror. But then it took another year or so before I figured out, okay, these are the types of videos that work and are the ones that I like doing. Because everybody makes like, reviewing horror movies, but I'm telling you, it's like a huge, like you literally, it's like practically impossible to start a channel right now just reviewing movies and get it to grow. You got to find some new angle, something different, something, and so like for me, pretty much from the beginning, I wanted to help recommend movies. And so that's kind of been the thing that little by little, I realized more and more that's what helps the channel grow. That's what helps people. And that's what keeps or gets people to come watch in the first place. So thank you, LFC Beast. Would you for always having positive energy? What's the glob? The glob? Are you talking about this? What I'm trying to look. Oh, the globe. It's this. It was the first Halloween decoration on the set this year. Leslie got it for me. And it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I need new batteries. Like I used it like one time and then the batteries died. I'm like, you cheap old batteries. So, oh, there we go. Sweet. The little panel on the bottom was loose. I didn't realize that. Hell yeah. Because I was like, man, I used it one time and the batteries are already dead. It's not. Hey. Thank you, Val. I tried to make it entertaining. It's like if I'm going to do something, like they sent me a free chair. I'm like, it's not my style to just slap something out there. I wanted to make it the best, blog style review video I could, Thank you so much, Wes. Mo money, mo money, mo money. I won't stop believing. Don't worry, John. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. Kenny, do you still accept PayPal? I was going to send some money your way after. Yeah, PayPal and Venmo. They're right there on the screen. Those are always the best ways to send me money if you want me to get it quickly and or get the most of it. Because I get about 90% roughly those ways. Whereas through YouTube, I think I get like 60% of it. 60 or 70, I can't remember. I'm into so much that I'm sure something will land that is also something I'm willing to do. Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you just got to keep doing stuff, Jesse. Like, just the more stuff you make, I'm telling you, the more videos you make, it just works itself out. I spent so much time stressing on all that early on. And I look back on it now and I'm like, honestly, I never really figured it out as much as it just figured itself out. Like, you just keep grinding and keep making things, keep doing things. It's going to take you a while to get good and comfortable enough to really make anything that anybody's going to want to watch anyway. Like, it just, you know, like even still, I mean, compared to some of these channels, like, you know, I try my best, but like, man, some of the stuff that these YouTubers can do, I'm just like, man, you guys are so talented. Like, I'm not younger. Like, this younger generation is so gifted at just talking off the cuff. You know, you watch someone like Charlie or Penguin Zero, and you're just like, holy shit! Like, how do you literally just goes, like, there's no cuts. Like, he doesn't cut. He doesn't even mess up anything he says. He's just like, he'll just talk for 20 minutes straight. You're just like, what the hell, dude? That, I mean, I appreciate that, CJ, but I love when you guys send it here too. So, like, I'm not asking to send money any either direction, and I'm just letting you guys know, you know, Venmo and PayPal, I get a lot more of the percentages all, and I get it right away. That's, you know, but I appreciate it no matter which, any even 1 cent. Like, I appreciate it, and I don't ever want to be that guy that's like, oh, don't send it here. Like, dude, screw that. Like, you know, you guys are awesome for supporting me in any way, shape, or form. Like, being here, hanging out with me on Mondays, watching the movie. Like, this is awesome. Yeah, what Ralph said is a good point too. Like, you know, putting down a few here reminds people, like, oh, hey, you know, we can send him some coinage, you know, to help him out. So, you know, to help the channel out. So it's a good thing too. So thank you, Wes. You wrote only 60 to 70%. Well, then here's more. Thank you. The problem with doing something like that, John Connor, is music is the hardest thing to do anything on with YouTube, because, like, literally 5 seconds is even too much a lot of times for a music clip. Like, you got to get really good at that. And like the Punk Rock NBA, he's really good at that, of knowing exactly how much clips he can get away with. But even then, like, it's really hard. Music gets demonetized faster than any other videos, period. Like, and then especially if you're doing the classic stuff like Blue Oyster Cult, you know, that's super famous or whatever. Like, you can sometimes get away with it when it's smaller underground music, but when it's like famous songs and stuff, it's even harder. But I mean, like, I've had literally like 5-second clips of the Halloween 3 Season of the Witch little intro thing, and I've had that get videos that I've made demonetized. Like, music gets you so fast. Like, I can play video clips, you know, that'll be like 10 to 20 seconds long a lot of times, to me, just fine. But doing a 5 seconds, even less. I've been flagged for as little as 3 seconds for audio clips before. Like, it's just the way the algorithm works. It notices music stuff so fast. A lot of it's because movies, it's like they want their trailers. They, you know, like, movie companies want their trailers out there, so there's a little more leniency with that. Whereas musicians and stuff, they fight hard to not let their music get pirated or taken at all and used for stuff, which I get and I respect that. But so the algorithm is much more like hardcore on that. But I mean, it's like, you know, if you pay 10 seconds of a song that's 3 minutes long, you know, versus playing 10 seconds of a movie that's 2 hours long, the percentages are there, you know. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate that. YouTube does. It just takes time. Like, it's one of those strange things. It's like all it'll take is just one video. If I just have one video that happens to really get some traction, I see it all the time. Channels that literally go from, 20,000 subscribers to 500,000 in a matter of months. Like, it just, I just don't worry about all that. And I also don't try to make things that are super pop culture-y. Like, there's certain things I could do that could probably get a lot more viewers, but I'm not trying to just blow up and make a bunch of money and get famous or whatever. Like, I'm trying to make a certain type of content that people like you guys get something from. Because, like, for instance, if I were to just talk constantly about the Friday the 13th movies, the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, the most popular horror movies, those franchises, because, like, that's why Dead Meat blew up and is such a big channel. And I'm not saying he did anything wrong. He didn't. But he was able to talk about the biggest franchises week after week after week, like multiple weeks in a row, because he'll talk about, like he talked about, like, I think he did 10 straight or 11 straight Friday the 13th movies before he talked about another franchise. Like, things like that, it really gets the algorithm cooking when you have stuff like that. So, I just, it's like a lot like Cody Leach or a lot of the other channels, they'll talk about Marvel, things that are, really popular, Ninja Turtles or whatever. It's just, I can't bring myself to do that, even though I know I could probably get a lot more views that way. But it just would feel like I'm not being true to me and what is important to me and what I know about and care about and the kind of people that I'm trying to help and give something to, so, like, I'll sprinkle in some of the pop culture-y stuff a little bit. Like, I'll talk about some of the bigger movies here and there, but a lot of it is like, I really like talking about these indie movies, like Feed Me, or Hellbender, or these different small movies that nobody knows about. And it's like, there's nothing that feels more amazing to me than one of these filmmakers and stuff thanking me, for helping more people see their movies that are so good, but that nobody talks about. So, it's like a fine line. I try to do a little bit of it, but I just can't. I can't go full in. But that's also why the ranking videos might work. Is because I could rank some subjects where I'm talking about. I could rank all the Halloween movies. You know what I mean? Like, I could talk about some of those bigger franchises. But still have my recommendation videos. That's the idea, is to try to mix something like that in a little bit. But I don't ever want to stop being able to do what really matters to me, and that's these recommendation videos, because those are what I feel like helps the horror community the most. Thanks, Ralph. You have a good night, brother. All right, I am going to probably call it here myself. I really need to eat, and I, to be honest, need to get some rest. I'm not anywhere near 100% yet. I'm not feeling horrible anymore, but I'm just feeling very tired, like zapped of energy. And, like, this isn't what I would consider hard work. I'm still under the lights and I'm hungry. Mostly I just need to lay down. Plus, they added a bunch of new episodes of The Unexplained with William Shatner. Fucking finally. And then a new season of The Unexplained comes out in October, which I just found out yesterday. So couldn't be happier. And they released the Halloween Wars and Halloween Bake Off last night. Streaming. So I've actually had some fun stuff to watch. Thank you, Dinitizens. Thank you very much for those kind words. All right, I love all you guys too. And if I am able to maybe do another live this week, I will. If not, definitely next Monday. Can't miss our movie nights. But I have a really, really good video coming out this Friday. I'm really, really proud of it, and I think it's a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. And then hopefully we'll be reviewing a movie this week, an individual review, and then hopefully do that ranking video in the next week or so as well. So hopefully there'll be a few things to watch coming on the channel this week. So, but you guys have a good night. I'll see you guys later.